Okay, good morning, class. Hope you're all doing well. All right, I've got my iPad set up here to record my laptop, which, as you can see, has an Excel spreadsheet. So today I want to, there we go. Today I want to talk about how to create a budget. All right. I know we did our entrepreneurship exercise with the lemonade stand, but it appears that some folks are still having some trouble learning how to budget the different costs that goes into starting your own business, such as a lemonade stand. Okay. So before I go into the spreadsheet, I just want to talk about what a budget is. A budget, guys, is nothing more than just a planned estimate on how much you're going to pay for something. It's just a plan. That's all what a budget is. Okay? Even if you're not going to be starting your own business someday and you're going to be working for somebody else, which obviously at some point in your lives you will, you're going to get a paycheck. And from the income from your paycheck, you're going to have to budget your income, the money you receive. You're going to have to budget all of the different costs that you're going to have when you're home. Okay, so for example, with your paycheck, you're going to have money that you're going to have to pay for utilities, the electricity in your home. You're going to have to pay for your cable bill. All right, so you can watch Netflix and play video games. All right, you're going to have to budget for food and car expenses, transportation. If you don't have a car and you're going to take the bus, you're going to have to budget for the cost to get to work or go wherever you want or need to be. Okay, so budgeting is very important because it gives you a snapshot. It gives you an idea on how much something's going to cost. Okay. Now, the cool thing about a budget is that because it's just an estimate, whatever you actually spend for a particular cost, all right, such as electricity or food, then you can figure out for the next week or the next month how much that item is going to cost based on how much you actually spent for the previous for the previous week. Okay? So here's my spreadsheet, all right, that I created on Excel, all right, and this program, which is really cool because you can make things a lot easier for yourself rather than doing it on paper. Okay, so let me just briefly explain how this spreadsheet works. You've got, just like on a graph, you have an X and Y axis. Just like here in our spreadsheet, we've got two labels. The A, B, C's, and D's here that I'm highlighting are called columns. And then if you go all the way to the left here, you've got things called rows. Okay? I'm highlighting rows here. These numbers. See the difference? Column and then row. All right. Now, these little individual things that I'm highlighting here right now are called cells. All right. These are just basically like grids on a graph. And the cool thing is, with each cell, you can go into it and you can highlight whatever information is in the cell. So for example, I'm going to highlight advertising here, and if you double click on it, all right, you can change, you can put whatever you want in the cell using your keyboard. Okay? And then you come down, okay, and then you could change whichever ones you want. But more importantly, the cool thing about the spreadsheet is that you can go in and change the number value for each cell, and it will you can set it up to affect the numbers over here. All right, so let me briefly explain what these three columns are. Actually, we got four. All right, we've got operating expenses, we've got estimated, actual, and difference. All right. As you can see here, I got my title here, Wally's Lemonade Stand. I can't remember exactly. Somebody from my second period came up with that, and that was really cool. So I decided to use it. All right, I put my date in, and this column here, operating expenses, are all the different materials that I think that would go into a lemonade stand. Advertising, like a promotion budget, lumber stand for the stand, miscellaneous building supplies. Then we've got a table, lemonade mix, sugar, pitcher, container for the lemonade, small cups, large cups, and an ice machine. Okay, there could be more. All right. If you guys could think of some more operating expenses that would go into this, please let me know. All right, so let's suppose that in our first week, because I gave you $500 to start, all right, so we're going to take our $500 and we're going to spend that. That is our starting budget of $500. All right, and let's suppose that we say, okay, well, once we get it all said and done, we're going to have to promote our business. So I want to set aside $100 that I'm going to spend on advertising. Okay, once again, it's just an estimate. We don't know exactly how much our advertising is going to cost us. All right, and then we say, well, you know, we're going to need lumber for our stand, so I'm going to budget $150 for the lumber. All right, and so on. And so we go down through all these operating expenses, and I write in how much I'm prepared to spend for each category. All right, and then if you scroll all the way to the bottom here on the far right corner, you can, or not corner, but on the right side of the page, you can scroll down, all right, to move the spreadsheet. You'll see here at the bottom, you have total operating expenses. All right, now what is that? Well, that's just simply taking all of these operating expense categories, and then you're totaling up all of the budgeted estimate, and it should come to $500. All right, scroll back up here. Now, let's suppose, okay, let's look at lumber here. We're going to go to the Lowe's or Home Depot to buy our lumber, and we say, hey, we've got an estimated cost of $150. This is what we're budgeting to spend. But when we get there, we're like, whoa, the price of lumber is actually higher than we thought. All right, well, we need lumber for our stand, so we're going to say, or I'm going to say, okay, I budgeted $150, but I'm actually decided I'm going to spend $165. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The difference between our estimated and actual is going to be our difference in this column. All right, and as you can see here, I got it highlighted in red, and I've done that for a reason, as well as these two parentheses here. Well, I did that, folks, because I want to show that if you spend more than what you budgeted, then you're going to be what they call being in the red. Okay, in other words, you went over budget. You spent more than you estimated for. Okay, so the difference is $15. All right, 165 actual. If you subtract actual from estimated, this will give you your difference, and obviously it's a negative number. Okay, so don't let that confuse you. When we talk about going over budget, that means you spent more than you thought, and now you're basically in the red. Okay, so that means you're going to have to come up with $15 from somewhere here to make up for that for next time. Okay, so let's look at all these different columns here. For difference, we've got 25. We got for advertising. Hey, we actually saved $25. We actually saved $25, and that's good. All right, so that's an additional $25 that we have. The lumber, well, we went over budget here by $15. Okay, so comparing these two, this means that we've only got with these two categories, we only have $10 additional money to play with. And let's keep moving down. We've got a $5 under budget here. All right. Remember, If you spend less than you estimated, you're going to be under budget, and this number is going to be positive. If you're going to go over budget, then this number is going to be in the negative. Okay? Know the difference. I know it seems it's kind of like opposite. Don't let that confuse you with over budget. Usually over means like plus, under means minus, but it actually means the opposite. Lemonade mix. Ooh, we actually spent exactly what we budgeted, so there's no difference. All right, and then so on. So what you can do with this spreadsheet, guys, is you can change these values, and it will change all the difference ones here, and it will change all of the numbers down here. All right, so let's say large cups, we budgeted 30, okay, but let's suppose my actual expenses were, let's say, 40. So I'm going to put in 40, go in here, double click, all right, to bring up the cursor, put in 40, and oh, look what happened. Two things happened here. The difference changed over here, all right, it recalculated the difference, but then it also recalculated this down here, all right? So it changed it in two areas, and that, boys and girls, is exactly why I love Excel spreadsheets, because you can set it up to make your life so much easier. All right, you can set your spreadsheet up to change different values if you're going to change or manipulate a particular cell. All right, let's change that back to 33. Okay, so that's really the cool thing about it. So in your assignment, I have a list of problems for you for basic budget. All right, and I'm going to upload it to Google Classroom, and I want you guys to have some fun with it. I think it'll be pretty cool. If you want to change some other operating expenses, or if you could think of some other ones, that'll be cool too. But for right now, just go ahead, tackle those problems. All right. All it requires for you to do is to go into the spreadsheet and change these cells around. Okay. All right. I'm going to sign off here because I know with this video it's going to take a lot of data space. So I'm going to upload it, and hopefully this will work. All right, guys. Have a good one. Let me know if you have any problems or questions, and just reach out through email or Google Classroom. All right. Bye.